What is going on, world? Welcome back once again. My name is ZacNovak and this is ZacNovak Plays Games, or Late Novak, because today, again, Zor's video in itself, well, it's actually late. Main reason, literally, because I recorded it earlier, ended up going through editing it, it was all fine, uploaded it, and then I realized the audio and video weren't actually synced. Thank you, YouTube processing. Anyway, this video is here, roll the intro, let's get right into it, and I do hope you certainly enjoy. Alrighty, now before I do actually get into this video, have a look at this clip from a little bit earlier that is seriously freaking awesome. This is one of the reasons why I love playing Destiny. Jump on to just do a video and people are amazing. Check it out. I seriously love Destiny. This is sick. This is honestly the situation that I love. I'm so glad I still play this game. God, it's amazing. But anyway, back to Zor and his loot and location. Zor is chilling in the tower down the back where did old dead orbit good guy Arak Jalalau. Yeah, he actually consists there. Zor is chilling in the corner up on the stairs. Fingers crossed, what's he got this week? You're an agent of the 9 and you are pretty good in yourself. Next week also, there is going to be the last and final invitation of the 9. So that is pretty interesting. We'll have to see what that actually is and what kind of happens. My speculation, there's going to be another cutscene about good old the Blade, talking about the Queen's brother, also known as the Queen's half-sister, I think, because he's a little bit girlish the way he acts, but that's just me. Anyway, fingers crossed it is actually something pretty cool. But anyway, this week in itself, we do have some pretty nice gear. Starting things off with the Eye of Another World for the Warlock, 23 legendary shards. For this, actually pretty decent exotic. Surprisingly, a lot of people don't use it. I myself use it from time to time, and it does look pretty awesome. But anyway, main perk is called Cerebral Uplink. Highlights priority targets and improves the regeneration speed of your grenade, melee, and rift abilities. This thing in itself is amazing in strikes and seriously a lot of fun in Crucible. Secondary perks on it, we've got ourselves fusion rifle targeting, hand cannon targeting, and hands on as well as, but not limited to. We've also got ourselves sniper rifle reserves and machine gun reserves. This thing in itself is definitely fun. It also looks pretty cool with the Gaze of Another World, which is from, I think, Dead Orbit, the last time we had Dead Orbit thingies going on. Anyway, this thing in itself is honestly pretty decent. Pick it up if you have not got it in your collection. Pick it up for your Warlock for 23 legendary shards. But moving on, next up, we've also got another helmet, this one being Mask of the Quiet One. For 23 shards, this Titan exotic in itself actually is pretty decent. Honestly, this thing in itself, it looks cool, and the perk in itself is very unique. Perk being called Dreaded Visage. Grants ability energy when you are damaged. When critically wounded, you regain maximum health on kills. In other words, this thing, if you are very low, you are able to actually survive even if you're red bar for most of the fight. If you can keep taking out adds, this thing in itself is seriously viable in almost every strike. Just kind of putting it out there. I honestly think this thing is a lot of fun. Secondary perks on, we've got ourselves fusion rifle targeting, hand cannon targeting, and hands on as well as, but not limited to. We've also got ourselves sniper rifle reserves and machine gun reserves. This thing in itself definitely looks pretty decent and honestly is a lot of fun to actually use. Pick it up if you have not got it for your Titan. Once again, 23 legendary shards. Moving on, next up, we've got the Young Couragespina for the Hunter or Huntress, D1 exotic to D2 in itself. This thing being 23 legendary shards is honestly a steal, with its main perk being called Wish Dragon Teeth. Increase trip mine grenade duration and blast radius, and the ability damage grants trip mine grenade energy. So if you like trip mines, this thing in itself is definitely for you. It honestly is very beastly and crucible and does some pretty good work in the PvP area too. Secondary packs, we've got ourselves a fusion rifle loader, hand cannon loader, and impact induction, as well as, but not limited to, we've also got ourselves a sniper rifle scavenger and machine gun scavenger. Not too bad, pretty decent, and honestly looks pretty cool with the ornament on it. I will have to state, I myself definitely like it. This thing in itself is definitely fun. Go ahead and pick it up if you've not got it. 23 legendary shards. Next up, moving on finally to the weapon of the week, the Colony. 29 legendary shards for one of the most annoying exotics you can actually put up with in the Crucible. This thing in itself is honestly amazing and I love it, but I don't love being destroyed by it. Main perk on it though is actually called Insectoid Robot Grenades, which just sounds amazing. This weapon's grenades are insectoid robots that chase down targets and explode close to them. If someone was to tell me that this gun was going to be in Destiny at some point in time, I would have said, well, that's pretty cheater. And it actually is. This thing is amazing. Don't change it, Bungie. It's perfect. Secondary perk being serve the colony. Insectoid robot grenades quickly repopulate the magazine from reserves while the colony is unequipped. In other words, if you do actually switch out weapons, it will actually reload. So yeah, this thing is amazing. This thing looks beastly with any form of actual shader on, not shader, ornament, because, well, these are pretty much just shaders. They don't really change very much about the gun, but I will actually state this thing itself is seriously amazing, seriously annoying, and seriously in the best spot it ever could be in Destiny. I love it. It's pretty much just like a mini Galahorn that is in the version form of a grenade launcher. So yeah, pick it up if you've not got it. 29 legendary shards. Moving on next up to the consumables. We've got ourselves the 5 of Swords challenge card for the Nightfall that allows you to challenge yourself by adding challenging modifiers to the already challenging Nightfall by adding said modifiers that are challenging to make it more challenging to actually get better modifiers, better loot, and a better loot score. So in other words, it makes your challenging Nightfall more challenging by adding challenging challenges to the challenging Nightfall that is already challenging. Pick it up if you've not got it. But moving on, next up, we've got ourselves the Invitation of the Nine. This one being the World, European Dead Zone. Got to get the Fallen Cabal and taken. This thing itself was actually bugged, is now fixed. Pick it up for the 9 legendary shards because it's cool and you get good loot from it, and it just shows you backstories from the game that you don't actually hear unless you pick it up. And finally, they're finishing things off. We've got ourselves the Isochronal Engram, aka known as the Faded Engram there, mate. 97 legendary shards for this exotic engram. It's going to give you an exotic that you don't actually own, unless you own all exotics from said kiosk that actually exists before the last DLC, not including this DLC, but in itself will include this DLC in the future. Pick it up to get some pretty good armor if you don't actually, care about stuff. If you already got the exotics that you need, then you're fine. But if you're someone like me who just chases exotic armor with good perks, you're going to pick it up for 97 legendary shards and get yourself the Heart of Inmost Light. Zor, what is this? Last week, you gave me a new chest for my hunter, and I'm like, I did not even have that. Now I've got another one for my freaking Titan. Use one ability to briefly improve your other abilities. This thing itself I did not own. So yeah, maybe you can actually get some pretty awesome stuff. Definitely I myself have. So yeah, in other words, Overflowing Light gives you using an ability, Grenade, Melee, or Barricade, empowers the other 2 abilities. Empowered means abilities have faster regain, melees and grenades do more damage, and barricades have more hit points. So this thing in itself, I'm actually pretty decently happy with it. Like, yeah, that's freaking cool. Thanks, Zor. I mean, definitely that's something I actually kind of wanted because I didn't have it. So, yeah, Zor, you're awesome. Tentacled bastard. I'm sorry I call you a tentacled bastard, but you kind of are a tentacled bastard. And maybe next week we'll find out why you're a tentacled bastard. Maybe perhaps that you could actually be someone named Aldrin that has consisted for a certain amount of time in another dimension and actually aged and grown and been touched by the darkness, and you've then come back in this form to actually peddle your wares to actually then get yourself more strange coins so you can go back to the actual 9, pay off the 9 and get them to actually take off the darkness so you can become light again, which means you then are reborn in a certain time, but that time exists back in time and you become Aldrin Self where you're all bad to darkness, then you become light and you're just like BAM! That's just my theory, but just throwing it out there. Zor and Aldrin Sov could be 1 to 2 sides of the coins. I did a video about this a while ago where I talked about the ravens that actually existed with good old Odin and his throne room and all stuff like that. They kind of existed of the sister and Aldrin Sov. Now I'm kind of thinking of the 9 and Aldrin Sov pretty much being the same thing. Or Zor and Aldrin Sov being the same thing. We'll have to see. But anyway, this has been ZacNovak. I've been babbling for quite some time. And I do have to breathe. So, sorry about that, if that was a little bit babblish. But anyway, this has been Zor's location and inventory for the weekend. This has been ZacNovak. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. Hopefully, you guys actually got a cool new exotic from the actual freaking isochronal engram, aka known as the good old exotic stuff that Zor can give you. And I can't even get on this rail. I suck. I made it. It worked. But anyway. This has been Zor's location. This has been ZacNovak. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, click that like button down below. Share this video around because it seriously helps out the channel, helps out the video, and helps out you guys. Also, it helps out randoms to actually see my content, which is surprisingly cool when people do share. I'm like, holy shit. If you share it on Twitter, maybe you want to actually give me a follow at what you can see on screen, ZACMCW. Fairly easy to find on Twitter. That's me. Follow me if you want. Shout out to myself. Also, shout out to you guys for watching my videos. You guys are amazing. Once again, this has been Zor's location. This has been ZacNovak. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Do all that good stuff and I'll be Sharon like Karen ever. He was Ed Sharon. Let me know also down in the comment section, do you also have any kind of like ideas of what maybe is Aldrin Sov's kind of plan in the future and what Zor actually is? Let me know all about that in the comment section down below. Do all that good stuff once again, sharing, like, sharing. But anyway, this has been Zor's location. This has been ZacNovak. Once again, do all that good stuff. And until next time, this is ZacNovak. Signing off. Peace out.